Welcome to the LDN radio show, brought to you by the LDN Research Trust. I'm your host, Linda Elsiegood. I have an exciting lineup of guest speakers who are LDN experts in their field. We will be discussing low-dose naltrexone and its many uses in autoimmune diseases, cancers, etc. Thank you for joining us.
Today I'd like to introduce our guest, Donna, from the United States, who takes LDN for multiple sclerosis. Thank you for joining us today, Donna.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
So could you tell us your story, please?
I would love to tell you my story. It's, in my mind, pretty amazing. So I'll start by saying that I was diagnosed with remitting and relapsing MS in 1992 at the Mayo Clinic here actually it was in Florida. My relapses at the beginning, we didn't know that they were relapses. My symptoms at the beginning, we spent a long time trying to figure out what it was. I was very tired. I had tingly feet, tingly scalp. The right side of my body was not working like it should. I was exhausted all the time. And we knew something was wrong. We just didn't know what it was. And after many different doctors, we finally decided to go to the Mayo Clinic and get this figured out once and for all. And that was where all the testing was done, and it was verified that I have MS. And once I knew what it was, it seems like everything kind of calmed down a little bit. So I didn't feel as bad as I did before. But the Mayo Clinic assigned me to a neurologist in my hometown, which I went to him, and he wanted me to start all the regular MS medications that were being used at that time, which included infusions and all kinds of things. And so I agreed. And after several months of taking this medicine, I decided I felt worse on the medicine than I did before I started it. It seemed to make everything worse to me. So I stopped it. And I told the doctor, I'll just deal with this the best way I can. And he said, that's fine with me. You do this the way you want to. And so that's what I did. And it didn't take too long until the relapses began to get worse again. And I was falling down the stairs, and lots of things were happening that were a lot alarming, especially to my family. And my husband was contacted. This was all very odd that it happened this way, but he was contacted by someone who was looking for investors to raise the funds for the FDA to approve this drug called Naltrexone in low doses. And they had been working with some doctors at the one that we knew about at the time was Penn State and the University of California, who were doing research on low doses of naltrexone and its effects on autoimmune diseases. So we did our own research and talked to several people and talked to one of the scientists at Penn State. My husband and I both decided that I should give it a try. I was a skeptic. I thought, this is not going to work. What is this? It's a little pill. You take it at night. And so I agreed reluctantly with my husband, even because I just thought I didn't really believe it. I put the medication in my pill box, and every night when I went to bed, I took that little pill. And I wasn't really expecting anything from it. And in fact, I even forgot I was even taking it. And about 3 months later, I woke up one morning, and I called my husband and I said, I don't understand this, but it seems like the sun just came up. My world has just completely changed. I feel good. I want to get out of the house. let's go somewhere. What do you want to do? It was completely different than what I had been experiencing. And my husband immediately felt like it was the LDN. I still didn't believe that little pill was making me feel that good, but I agreed to continue taking it. And we began a search for a doctor who would write a prescription and we could get it compounded. And that was quite an adventure back then. And but we were able to do that. I began telling everybody I knew that had any kind of autoimmune issue, you need to do some research on low dose naltrexone. And I told my doctor, and at first he was very hesitant to write me a prescription, but he finally did. We found a compounder in the city where we lived who was actually compounding it for other people. And we asked him, what was it being for the other people? What was it being used for? And mostly it was for pediatric Crohn's disease. And there were a few other MS patients who were taking it. So I've been taking it now for 27 years. And I've tried not taking it just to see what would happen. And I can tell you that within a few weeks of not taking it, I can feel the difference. Now, I still have what I would call minor relapses. I still get the tingly thing in my scalp every once in a while, and my feet tingle. And usually when the bottoms of my feet tingle, I know that there's something going on. And then the other thing that I do get occasionally is fatigue. And when that happens, I find a good book and I just try to relax and know that at some point that's going to stop. I'll be 74 next month. I'm busy. I ran a nonprofit scholarship organization here in the United States for 15 years. We gave away millions of dollars in scholarships, and we had a convention every year for 15 years, and I planned it. I didn't let any of this stop me. So, and I owe it all, I believe, to the LDN that we found all those years ago. So that is kind of it. I've told every doctor that I know about it. I even had a friend who was diagnosed with MS and quickly ended up in a wheelchair. And I told her about it. She told her doctor. Her doctor called me. He wanted to know what were the side effects, where did I get it, everything. He talked to me for a good 10 minutes on the phone about it, and he gave it to her. And I didn't see her for several months. And several months later, she showed up at my house. She was walking and she had on workout clothes. And she wanted to tell me that how great she felt and that she was even training for a walk marathon. And we just rejoiced with each other that she was doing so well. And that's just one example. I've told a lot of people about it. And in fact, just this morning, I posted something on Facebook and I mentioned that I was taking a medication to help with my MS and had been taking it for so long. And I got a message from a lady I don't even know. And she said, my brother has MS and is in a wheelchair. Would you mind telling me what you take? I responded and told her, and I referred her to the place where I get it. And I told her to let me know how her brother was doing. So for me, LDN has been a miracle drug. I'm actually thankful that the FDA didn't get a hold of it at this dosage, because I think if they did, this is just my opinion, but I think some drug company would probably get a hold of it and charge thousands of dollars for a medication that is not expensive at all and something that works. So um, that's pretty much my story. Um, do you have
That's
any
amazing.
questions for me?
You were saying that sometimes you get the pins and needles and they go and you like them to mini relapses.
Yes, I have never had. Now, that's not to say that I have not fallen. I'm almost 74, and I was cleaning out my closet, and I got up on the first rung of the little ladder that I have in my closet, and I got dizzy. And when I went to step down, I tripped and fell. Thank goodness I had on my Apple Watch because it asked me, "Have you fallen?" And was I okay? But it, I don't know. I don't think I do anything that's unusual, other than the tingly feet, the tingly little spot in my scalp that hurts for me to brush my hair, and I get tired. But it usually only lasts a few days. I don't catch colds. Um, I'm around three great grandchildren, ages 3, 3, and 6, who seem to catch everything that comes around. And I never get sick. My husband catches what they have, but I don't. Um, I don't know if
That is really, truly amazing. Now, I'm the founder of the LDN Research Trust, which became a non-profit charity in 2004. And I've been taking LDN since 2003. And the number of people that have told me that they don't catch colds or flus or viruses or anything, I wish I could say the same. I always catch everything and anything. So having MS hasn't slowed you down. You've been doing charity work. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
well, yes, I'd be happy to. I was just beginning to take LDN when I was approached by an organization to start or help start a scholarship program for young women. And so I talked to my husband. I hadn't been taking the LDN that long, but I was feeling so good and doing so well. I agreed to do it, and for 15 years, I ran this program. We raised millions of dollars in scholarships and paid out almost $5 million over 15 years, and to colleges and universities all over the world,
Wow.
including England and Australia, and of course most of them are in the United States. But uh, and I finally decided in 2020 that it was time for someone else to do it, and my husband was retiring, and so we were moving, and it was just time to let someone else do it. But I didn't stop because I was having any kind of major MS issues. I just decided I needed to move on to some other project. So no, it never really stopped me. Even when I was having the bad relapses, um, I at first I didn't even believe it. When the Mayo Clinic told me that I had MS, I thought there is no way that I have MS. Even though I was experiencing all these things, I just couldn't believe that was what it was. But yes, that is what it is, and but we've been able to control it with LDN.
So, did you know anybody with MS at the time of your diagnosis?
No, I did not. I knew of some people, but I didn't know anyone personally. And one of the people that I knew about was actually the wife of one of the pastors at our church, and she got um, the bad kind. And it didn't take long for her to be in a wheelchair. And that was really the only personal experience that I had with anyone else that had it. Now, I did meet a lot of people after I found out, because I was going to the Mayo Clinic, and at that time did not know anything about LDN. But as far as when I first found out that I had it, that was really my only person that I knew, and it wasn't a good outcome. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've done an so amazingly well, haven't you, on LDN?
I truly have. And which is why thank you for this opportunity. I try to tell everybody I know that even has an autoimmune issue about it, and to ask them to do their research. There's a lot more to learn about it today than there was back when I first found out about LDN. So, which I'm very grateful for.
And it's also used in ultra low doses to help people wean off of opioids.
Yes.
And there are so many people, pardon me, who are addicted to opioids.
Correct.
Legally, not illegally,
Right.
you know, by prescription medications, because back in the day when opioids were first prescribed, the prescribers were told that they weren't addictive.
I know.
It's so sad, isn't it? Very sad.
It is. As far as what I've learned about naltrexone is, it's an anti-opioid.
That's
and
right.
Yes, and so for that reason, since it was determined that I have MS, I've had several surgeries for various reasons, and that had nothing to do with MS.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to stop the LDN in case I needed a strong pain relieving medication. So that is one of the things that you have to keep in mind. But it's the only other side effect I got from it when I first took it, and this is kind of funny. I had the most vivid dreams, and one of them, I thought there were soldiers marching around our house, and it was so real to me that I woke up my husband to look out the window to make sure that there were not soldiers marching around our house.
Oh, goodness.
So, but that really only lasted, I don't know, a few days. It was kind of funny. But like I said, it's been a wonderful miracle drug, if you want to call it that, for me. So,
well, thank you very much for having shared your story today. It's been truly amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I've enjoyed talking to you, and I hope someone will hear my story that needs to find something to help them, and they'll give it a try.
Any questions or comments you may have, please email me, Linda, Linda, at ldnrt.org. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciated your company. Until next time, stay safe and keep well.